So in my April Fool's video, assuming anybody even watched it, I said that my big video would be ready by late April or early May, and obviously that deadline has passed. There are two reasons for this. The first reason is,
I don't like editing convoluted bullshit.
And the second and more important reason is because my April Fool's video got blocked for copyright by Warner Brothers and Viacom, and they both rejected my dispute, which is why I had to upload it with that unwatchably distracting filter. I completely understand why they would do it, more so in WB's case, but that puts the future of my video into severe question because this video is much, much longer and uses way more footage and sources from Warner Bros. And Viacom and everything, basically. And I'm worried that getting two copyright claims in such short succession of each other could potentially jeopardize the future of this channel. Now, my big epic poop that I've been working on and teasing for a while, I might, and that's a big might, have slightly more leeway since it features much more elaborate edits than just replacing words and even a few quote-unquote new scenes that I made from combining footage, and even a few wholly original scenes I made in Blender, which means I have a stronger argument for it being a transformative work and parody as opposed to just a simple edit. But as pretty much everyone is aware, the big corporations literally do not care at all about fair use or anything and just want their stupid money. And I feel like no matter what I say, no matter how strong a case I make, Warner Brothers is going to look at this and say, well, this uses footage from 3 different movies, so we're losing 3 times as much money. Even though I have absolutely no intention of monetizing any of these, nor am I presenting this as an alternative to the original works. Like I said, this is a parody, it's a re-edit, it combines multiple different sources to tell a mostly all-new narrative, but that doesn't matter to them or YouTube. They are not going to care. They only want to enforce their copyright and secure their own paychecks. Now, I completely understand why they do this. It's their intellectual property. They have the right to enforce that copyright. I completely understand why they flagged my April Fool's video. I'm not happy about it, but I understand, at least in the case of Warner Brothers, since it features almost the entirety of Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers, which is available on home media and can be legally streamed on Boomerang at least. And the only changes I made were replacing the dialogue with le funny swear words. I get it. What I do not get is Viacom flagging the video because, yes, it does feature footage from SpongeBob, and it's not as if we're out of options on how to watch that. But the thing is, I used roughly a minute of footage, maybe less than 60 seconds, of a 22-minute episode. That is less than 5% of the episode's full runtime, and it is a single scene with significant editing done to it. It is not anywhere close to a substitute for the actual episode. People trying to pirate The Sponge Who Could Fly are not going to get anything out of my single 1-minute clip that is a small part of a video that otherwise has nothing to do with SpongeBob. They are not going to lose any profit from this, unless, of course, someone only wants to watch that one scene and not the rest of the episode, in which case they're just going to go on YouTube anyway. And yes, I am fully aware this is the greatest danger of being a YouTube pooper. It's the copyright holders taking down your video. I was fully aware of the possibility of this happening when I started, but I just figured, well, Warner's not as obsessive about copyright as Viacom is, so maybe it'll be okay. And sure, that might be on me, but there are 2 things about these copyright claims I don't get. The first thing is, for the SpongeBob part, the claimants were listed as Viacom, CBS, and Nelvana. If you don't know who Nelvana are, they're a Canadian animation studio who have worked with Paramount and Nick a lot in the past. They made Franklin, they made Little Bear, they made Clone High. They also co-produced several Nicktoons like Pelswick, Wayside, and Ollie's Pack. They apparently at least co-own the rights to those shows, which is probably why Nick has pretty much brushed them under the rug, though they also own the international distribution rights to the first 5 seasons of The Fairly Odd Parents, which is suspected to be the reason why Nick keeps rebooting that show. Quick aside, please, just stop. Stop. Let my boy Timothy rest in piss. However, Nelvana has always been a separate entity from Paramount. They are completely separate companies who have collaborated in the past, but Nelvana has always been independently owned. Paramount has no control over them. So when I saw that Nelvana had co-claimed the video, I was confused for a bit. I knew about the Fairly Odd Parents thing, so I thought that maybe there was a similar deal with SpongeBob that I just didn't know about, but when I went to Google it, I didn't find anything about Nelvana securing the broadcast rights to SpongeBob or any sort of deal between them and Nick about SpongeBob. Trying to Google SpongeBob Nelvana just brings up a bunch of fake logos and VHS openings, so Nelvana by itself has absolutely no involvement with SpongeBob in any way. However, I did find out that Chorus Entertainment, Nelvana's parent company and also a separate entity from Paramount Global, apparently has the streaming rights to Nick's library in Canada, so I'm thinking maybe that's why Nelvana is listed, since their parent company partially distributes Nick's shows. Shout Factory has been known to do the same thing for videos on My Little Pony back in the day, even though Hasbro and Wild Brain own the show itself. So I'm thinking that's why it got claimed by them, but what's screwy about this to me is that the claimant is listed as Nelvana and not Chorus, because Nelvana is just the animation studio and label. Chorus is the larger conglomerate that operates Nelvana. Maybe that's just how they're registered in YouTube's copyright database or whatever, but I don't know, I just think it's kind of fishy. I don't know why Nelvana and Chorus are claiming the video when they don't actually own the rights to SpongeBob as a whole. I also found out while writing this video that apparently Paramount eased up on their claim and aren't blocking the video anymore. It doesn't make a difference since Warner still has it blocked worldwide, but apparently Viacom just changed their minds even though my dispute was rejected. That's weird. What's also weird is that the original upload of the SpongeBob movie collab is blocked for copyright in almost every single country in the world except Canada. Canadians can still watch the video just fine, yet I seem to recall either the original video or the re-uploaded version with the filter also having a copyright claim from Nelvana, but when I checked, neither has any claim from Nelvana. The original only has the claim from Viacom, so who knows what's going on. My remastered Poop compilation, which features the same SpongeBob footage plus footage from Drake and Josh rendered at a higher resolution with no filter or watermark, also has no claim from Viacom. The only real copyright trouble I had with that video was a song from Evangelion of all things. I don't know if that's because since it's a compilation and thus is only considered a smaller part of a bigger video, or who knows, maybe Viacom only watched the first 2 minutes and went, nope, there's no SpongeBob here, we good. The second weird thing about this copyright claim, this one in terms of Warner Brothers, is that this is the first time this has happened with them. All those Teen Titans Go videos I made in the past, along with other videos I've done using Warner content, have never been blocked for copyright, and that includes my instrumental version of the Teen Titans Go to the Movies theme, which features totally unfiltered footage from that movie, and is even recognized by YouTube as being from that movie, yet it doesn't have any restrictions. Even my old Teen Titans No Poop, which is still the most viewed video on my channel, isn't blocked for copyright. In fact, the only copyright tag it has is for the use of Tarzan Boy. It doesn't say anything about Teen Titans Go. It's just the song that YouTube picked up, and it's completely fine with that. Now, what I want to know is, was my April Fool's video blocked because Warner decided that I used too much footage compared to my other videos and thus decided to put their foot down since I overstepped fair use? Because all my other videos mostly just use short clips. My other Warner-related vids also use somewhat lower quality footage, whereas the Bunny Snatchers print I used is much higher quality. So maybe YouTube just detected it easier since there weren't as many compression artifacts. So maybe it has something to do with that. Or was it claimed because of a management shift at Warner Brothers? Because all my old Teen Titans and Animaniacs videos were uploaded before the Discovery merger was finalized. WB did not have the same management then that it does now, so maybe the new management at Warner Discovery is just taking a stronger stance on copyright than they did before, which, if that is the case, if you're going to take a stronger stance against piracy and people redistributing your content without your consent, why would you remove literally hundreds of shows and movies that you own from your own streaming service, many of which were exclusives that do not have physical media releases and cannot be bought or streamed legally anywhere else, meaning people have literally no option to legally view your content because you yourself removed it? People aren't pirating your shows or games or movies because they don't have money or they don't want to pay. They're doing it because there is literally no other option to experience this illegally outside of buying used copies secondhand, which, again, many of these shows and movies do not have physical releases, so there is no way for anyone to watch it legally. You remove the content. You are the ones not offering it for sale or streaming. You have forbidden us from legally supporting your content because you removed it of your own volition. And yes, Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers can still be bought and streamed legally. It might not be on HBO Max anymore, but it is still on Boomerang, and it was released on the Looney Tunes Parody Collection DVD fairly recently. So yes, you can still watch and buy that specific short legally since Warner Brothers is still offering the option to do so. Both Space Jam movies are also still on HBO Max, last I checked, and are more than well circulated on physical media and streaming, so it's not like people can't watch those either. But if this sudden change in attitude towards copyright is in fact due to a change in management who are less forgiving of people uploading their media online, I think that if you're going to take this stuff down, you should offer a way for people to legally buy and stream it so that people don't have to pirate it. But if you aren't going to offer a way for consumers to experience or purchase this content, then I'd argue that you have no right to try and take it down because you are not offering this content yourself. If your argument against people posting clips of your shows and movies to YouTube is that you're losing money because people aren't buying it or streaming it from retailers you've approved, or that you're unable to enforce your trademark due to people making bootlegs of your intellectual property, that reasoning completely falls apart if you aren't going to offer a way to legally purchase or consume this content, or if you write it off for taxes and then sit on the rights. You want nothing to do with this content, so why are you punishing others for trying to preserve content that you yourself refuse to offer or utilize? I'm sorry for that tangent. It's just I am so fed up with corporations lately. Like, you absolutely would not believe. I'm just really at a loss for how to move forward on this video. I've been working on this for nearly a year. I'm so close to being finished, but just this perfect storm of the sheer size and scope of this video being well beyond anything I've made previously, getting videos blocked over copyright, none of my creative projects going anywhere, the putrid state of the world right now, and next to no support from anyone have just completely drained me of any motivation to keep going. I want to finish this video. I want to get it over with. I want to see this through to the end. I've sank so much work into it that I don't want to abandon it. I don't want all of this work to go to waste. I mean, there's the argument that I could just quit, but I feel like that won't really fix anything, and I'm aware the sunk cost fallacy is a thing, but this has been nothing but a labor of love. Everything I've made has been a labor of love, even if it just looks like garbage DeviantArt cringe to the average outsider. I have done solely out of pure passion for what I do. That passion has been severely crippled, and I wonder what the point of even continuing is, not just for YTP, but for everything. Drawing, writing, designing games. Creativity is what gives me life. Without it, I feel like I have nothing, but it's just so hard to even see why I should continue sometimes. I feel like the only person rooting for me is myself, and nobody else ever notices or even cares, and it feels like nobody, and I mean nobody, actually understands what it takes to get something done and to get yourself out there. It's not just as simple as, well, post your thing online and find an audience. I've been on YouTube and DeviantArt for a decade, and I feel like I don't have anything to show for it, and that I'll never be able to get any of my dreams off the ground because of factors outside my control. They say you should be creative because you actually enjoy being creative, but the hard truth is that personal satisfaction can only get you so far in life. A sense of personal accomplishment isn't going to sustain me for the rest of my life. And I'm sure there are a ton of people out there who would just rip me to shreds and tell me how wrong I am and how all of this is my own fault, and maybe they're right, but I just don't know what it is I'm doing wrong. I will try to get the video done by the end of this year, but I can't guarantee that. I want to get it finished as soon as possible, both because I'm so exhausted from working on this and don't want to finally see it done, and because the window of timing where this video and what it's about is even relevant is rapidly coming to a close, so I don't know. I want to say that maybe what I need is a break, but it feels like I'm already taking a break. Every day I'm not working on this or on anything. When your life has no agenda, every day feels like a break. So But I'm going to try and find the time to work on this thing and finish it. And when it's finished, I'm going to upload it unlisted to see how YouTube's copyright reacts to it. And if by some miraculous chance it finds nothing wrong, then great. I'll set it to premiere at whatever I think the best time to post would be. And if not, then I don't know. I guess I filter or mirror it, but honestly, I kind of want this to be my grand send-off, one last hurrah before I try and figure out what it is I want to be doing with my life. And I just hate the thought of having to shrink or distort the footage to a point where it just detracts from the experience. It feels like a really shitty way to cap off a decade of editing. I want this to be enjoyed the way it was meant to be enjoyed, so I'm not sure what to do. If I have no other choice, I will filter it and maybe upload the unfiltered video to another site. I did that for my April Fool's video and it still seems to be fine. But I'm honestly not sure because I do not want this channel to go away. I want people to be able to watch everything I've made and still be able to years from now. But I don't have the same following or presence that bigger YouTubers have, so I can't fight Warner or Viacom as easily as some others can, and it's already so monstrously difficult trying to fight against YouTube censorship. It always has been, but some of us don't have the same army that others do. Some of us have to fend for ourselves. If anybody has any suggestions for what to do, then please comment on this video suggesting ways I can get this video past YouTube. Even just sending your emotional support or saying good luck or anything, it would mean so much to me. Just getting any kind of meaningful comment or feedback on my work means more to me than you could ever imagine. So just standing by me during my hour of need would mean the world to me. I would not be where I am now without you guys. I know I'm off my peak. I know a lot of my recent videos don't get as many views as my old ones, but just any support I can get means so much to me.
Oh, jeez, he's crying.
And if you've actually sat here and listened to me ramble all the way to the end of this video, then thank you. Thank you for that time. Just leaving a comment and sharing this video would do so much good. Even just liking or subbing would be so great. I truly do value every tiny little bit of love my work gets, even if I don't show it. Just seeing people like what I do means so much. So thank you so much for sticking with this channel, even if I barely upload these days, because I just want everything I make to feel special, I guess. I don't like to just shit stuff out because I feel obligated to. I make this because I want to make it, and I want other people to enjoy it too. It's just not easy, especially now. I'm sorry for rambling so much, but I really do appreciate your patience and your time, and if you have any suggestions at all, even just the tiniest kind words, please do not hesitate to leave a comment or show your support in any way. But the video is still coming. It will come. I don't know when, but it will be done eventually. I just want to see this through all the way to the end, so in the meantime, hang tight and just thank you for watching this channel.